I don't make sure that I've slept well or that I feel good, that my confidence is in the right place, then nothing's going to happen, right?
In part one of our conversation with Kate Chernis from Lately, she told us about her unlikely journey from rock DJ to startup CEO. In the second part of our conversation, Kate talks about the essential connection between body, mind, and business, and she tells us about her efforts to bring human emotion into sales. So what's one area where a hurdle you had to overcome that you can share with other entrepreneurs out there?
Are you kidding me?
Plenty, right? Which one?
Yeah, so many. I mean, I was just talking about this today. You get punched in the face all day long as an entrepreneur. People say no to you all the time. And so sometimes, most of the time you just are used to that. And so it's fine. But once in a while it does hurt. I think for me, the biggest hurdle has been, this is going to sound so trite, but it's super true. It's just to remember to be myself. And I've learned this lesson again and again and again. And in fact, in the very beginning, when we were having trouble, an entrepreneur and an investor of mine actually, really just said to me, just stop this, be yourself. Because I had this, I don't know, thing that I had to walk into a room and be this really polite person who was polished. And I'm none of those things, Alex. I'm just not, right? And whenever I put on something else, some kind of gloss, or even I found myself in a teacher-student situation, putting myself lower. I've seen that happen to me before, and then I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And it's just the funniest thing because my confidence will tank. I could see all the success not happening. And I really just was thinking about this recently, how I've had a pretty challenging year, actually. And all the things that I need to do to make sure that confidence is front and center is so important to do. Even little things, whether it's getting a massage or going for a walk. I remember people telling me this stuff and thinking that is so fluffy, right? And then you learn that nothing is more important than my mind, my state of being. It affects the whole business. And if I don't make sure that I've slept well or that I feel good, that my confidence is in the right place, then nothing's going to happen, right? So
going forward, where do you see the business in 3 years, 5 years from now?
Yeah, that's a really good question. We're poised to be that SMB tool, right? So I absolutely see us doing that as soon as we've figured out how to collaborate this other sector at the moment, which we will also be doing. But I certainly see us to be, much bigger. And one of the things we've been really thinking about is the sales process and how that works. So right now, most startups do this, where there's the SDR, right, a sales development rep who makes phone calls, smiles and dials all day, cold call or cold email, and then kind of moves people through the funnel like that. And I hate receiving those calls. You hate receiving those calls. We don't answer them. We hate the emails. They're all awful. That process is broken. And so, as I mentioned, we've been using our own product to create that warm leads situation. And we're finding that we have a 50% trial to sale conversion in that case by just being human and sympathetic to what other people are experiencing. And so what I'm really excited about over the next few years is figuring out how to scale this process, a new sales strategy, because I'm absolutely convinced that old one is a piece of S. I hate it.
Nicely stated. So looking at how to scale a different type of sales process that matches what you own feel, not just the cold email, hey, let's talk, but rather warm leads using your own dog food, as you state. In order to then achieve that vision, I guess the main hurdle is probably the scaling effort, is to figure out how can you take that and scale. One of the questions that, you had written before and we were looking at is the importance of human touch and marketing versus automation. So it's how much can you automate and just have it run versus the importance of just a human connection and the value between those two. What can you share in your perspective on the value of those two and how you can scale your efforts?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Emotion is everything, right? I mean, we know this in marketing. It's not any different with sales. You buy from me because you like me or you feel something strong, right? About the product, maybe. I mean, Apple, Steve Jobs, yada, yada, yada. We all know this, right? And that's the thing that I've been working with my sales staff as well. In fact, just this morning, a customer wrote on LinkedIn about one of my sales members, Chris. His signature is, if you love someone, hug them right now. And she was saying that she loves that because it's so human. And she was talking about what a great salesperson he is because he's so human. And he is. Like when he does a demo, he'll do a video and he'll drink a cup of coffee. After he pushes the magical button, he'll just have a sip of coffee. And that's in 1.8 seconds. That's how long it takes lately to do its magic. Right. And it's just this little kind of thing, sip of coffee. And yeah, right. I mean, I just love that. That I love that I've created a space for someone like that to be successful and to express themselves and then do it in a way that we're like supporting and learning from it, right? I like literally today, after I saw that she wrote that and all the uptick it was getting on LinkedIn, I thought, I wonder if we should put that in all of our signatures, test it out.
Amplifying that own effort. And that is a way to scale. I appreciate that whole point of it's almost you creating the culture of, normal human interactions in the sales efforts versus just here's our sales process, follow it here and send your emails. That in its own way is an opportunity of innovation in your culture. On this last question in our remaining time here, how else are you innovating? What podcasts are you listening to right now? What books are you reading? I'd love to know just for other entrepreneurs out there.
Oh, this is the worst question because I'm not very interesting. So I'll tell you two things. Number one, read the book Value Graphics. It's all about how demographics are old and in the way, and that if you categorize people based on what they're interested in versus their age, race, location, you actually get a more interesting swath and a more valuable swath of information. Just think about how the country is divided right now in politics. Like, I can't tell you how many people I know who don't vote like I do, but we have tons of the same stuff in common. And so instead, if we focus on what we had in common, people would be able to sell a lot more stuff to us, by the way. But the other thing is, so I reread Harry Potter in a circle.
I love it. Okay. Well, I actually I interviewed another lady who it's actually fiction, like Tolkien and some other things, Lord of the Rings, that helped her figure out the future of then how she's using automation and AI. So it's like, fiction is a great way to then innovate, and why we're going to Mars and sci-fi like that. Thank you so much.
It is like good versus evil, right? Sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
I love it. This is awesome. Where can people go to learn more, and what's a good first step that they can take?
Thanks, Alex. Love you. It's www.trylately.com. Trylately.com. I'm Kate Lee from Lately, so you can remember that.
Have you seen a company using AI, machine learning, or other technology to transform the way we live, work, and do business? Go to uptechreport.com and let us know.